Imagine having to pack your bags and move off campus because you don't feel safe living in your own dorm room at college. Several students at Central Connecticut State University have gone through this situation due to gender-neutral housing options, which was brought into action in 2009. Students as well as the majority of faculty members can agree the current gender-neutral housing option is outdated and due for a redesign.
It's a housing that doesn't look at the binary. It does not look at either a girl or I say girl or boy or male or female. It doesn't look at gender in that manner. It just looks at quote unquote people as people rather than segregating you by male or female. And it's just housing where people can live and learn naturally.
Associate Director of Resident Life, Ryan Bowman, explained how gender-neutral housing started on campus.
It originally began around 2009-2010 that we were approached by students who identified as transgender and were looking for a housing option that was going to work for them. And looking at what we were able to provide, we were able to find some space in Sheridan Hall, and we utilized it. And the idea was that as the need grew and more students were looking for it, that we would begin to expand the program.
So what we have now is very limited. It's very hard to find information about. It's hard to access, and sometimes it's hard to actually get once you request it, just because you need to be able to get in and sit down with the folks in Res Life and go through that system. There really isn't an application. It's an option, but it's a difficult to use option, and it's really not ideal. So as a professional, I think about what are the models right now for gender-neutral housing, as many schools have tried to build them.
LGBT Center Director Crystal Nieves thinks it's fantastic that CCSU has an option for gender-neutral housing, but said it's far from ideal and there is much more CCSU can do to improve.
I can say things all day long, but unless students are right there to make it real, it's hard for the administration to see why this has to be done now.
The school is currently exploring models and options for alternative housing and how to access it. Erica Dawsonhead and Sean Grisato are graduate students at CCSU and conducted their capstone project on the topic of gender-inclusive housing.
It's the best option in the world for a student that might not be LGBTQ to feel more at ease and to learn that people are people no matter what.
CCSU should expect to have some progress on gender-inclusive housing for the upcoming fall 2015 semester.
For next year, we have taken some space aside, so we'll continue to use Sheridan Hall. We'll also now be having spaces offered in Gallaudet Hall as well. And then one of the suites in the mid-campus residence hall will be available for students to select into.